live. Yeah, we going live. Hey, we going live. Yeah, we going live. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
All right, on to the real. On to the real. I tried so hard because I could hear Stephanie's voice in my head, like, stop picking football players and basketball players. So I tried very hard to look for someone to highlight for this on to the real, who did not play football or basketball. And so I found a Korean figure skater. Her name is Yuna Kim. And this young lady, she's competed at the highest level in figure skating. She represented Korea in the Olympics. She, as an athlete, has probably donated more of her money than almost any other athlete. I read a story where it says that her fan base, and this is not even her fan base donated $11 million. So
which country is she out of?
Korea.
Someone tells me she had that money already. I mean,
you think so?
She comes from money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it says for about 7 years, herself, she's donated consistently $2.44 million. And so people donate, and you hear, so what you hear is people like doing drives where they get other people to donate in their name. This young lady is actually giving up her money. You know what I'm saying? And so now that she, her career is over, she's continuing to donate in this way. And I think this is so dope, you know what I'm saying? Because she's truly putting her money where her mouth is.
Yeah, I mean, she has it, clearly.
Yeah.
She has to give. And most, like, millionaires, and they're not shooting out money like that. I don't know how much money she got, but $2.4 million, they ain't nothing to
ain't nothing
turn away from her.
Yeah.
She clearly got it, and hats off to her, man, for contributing to society like that.
Yeah, definitely. Especially
when she ain't got to.
Right.
She ain't pulling no Jeff Bezos.
Right. All right. So, feel good final thought. So this young man, Antwuan Jackson, is actually near and dear to Stephanie's heart. And so as soon as she sent me the story about it, I knew that we had to talk about it. And so Antwuan Jackson is a senior now at Ohio State. He has, since he's been at Ohio State, one of the things that I guess he's known for, one, they call him Hercules, and he's known as a big teddy bear. And so one of the things that he's been doing as a super senior at Ohio State, during the pandemic, he has been feeding the homeless. And when you hear stories like, I don't know what, I think about our experiences, with us being in college. I don't know how much charity anybody was doing around DC. I know for me, I would go and talk to elementary school kids and talk to them about reading and the importance of it and going to college and stuff like that. But to hear like college football players, because to me it's rare. If people did it, they never talked about it, right? To hear about college football players like spending their time feeding homeless, just wasn't the thing when I was in school, or when we were in school, excuse me. What do you think about this story?
I think people did it. It may not just be as talked about, you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
oftentimes people that do acts like that on a consistent basis, they're not like asking for attention or asking people to follow them. Not to say that he did it in this instance.
Right.
They probably just found Ohio State PR probably just found a good, probably looking for a good story to push behind one of their players. And they probably found this information out do some kind of survey or something from their players. But yeah, man, most of the time people doing acts like this, they're not looking to for any kind of public notoriety.
Yeah. True.
It's a selfless act, so you're not really looking for all this attention.
Yeah. But so shout out to him, man. You know, continue doing what you're doing. Like, you know, it's dope that you could make an impact in your community. And he didn't even start off at Ohio State. Like he ended up transferring to Ohio State. But to get there and, you know, really be moved to work with that community and that, you know, the folks of that city in that way, man, is just awesome. And it speaks volumes of his character. So salute to you, Antwuan Jackson.
That may help him out in the league because you know they look for high character folks. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's gonna play on the next level because he's also been dogging on the field. So shout out to him. Congrats to you, sir. Yeah. All right, Mike.
Big ups,
we got this segment called Show Picks. And it doesn't really matter what you're watching or what you're listening to. But do you mind sharing with us what you've been taking in?
So I celebrated my 13th wedding anniversary in October, and we took a trip. Thank you. It's a grind, but an enjoyable one. Yeah, so one of the wives on the trip, she mentioned this show called Ready to Love that's hosted by Nephew Tom. It's on the OWN network.
Yes.
And they had a couple seasons in Atlanta, I think, and a couple in Houston, and now they're in DC. Man, when I say I'm hooked on this show, it's entertaining. And my heart goes out to all the single folks out there because it's some sketchy. Yeah, sketchy. Disingenuous folks out there that do stuff in the name of love, but aren't really trying to find some love. But good luck to y'all singles out there. It's a good show to watch too, though. If nothing else, get a vibe of what
it's like to
going on here, especially in that age group, that 35 to 45 range.
Oh yeah,
it'll give you a good gauge. I don't know if because the people on TV, they may be putting on for TV, some of them maybe, but I couldn't imagine trying to find somebody right now. And that's what I have to look to.
Have to deal with,
Yeah.
I got to check it out. Like, you know, we know someone who could have been on the show and decided not to do it. And I think it's a good thing that he decided not to. I won't say his name right now, but...
Yeah, I like watching those shows, man. I watch Ready to Love. I watch Married at First Sight, where they get married like without even knowing who the person is. So yeah, I like those kind of shows.
You know, so this isn't my show pick, but I saw a show the other day called My Pregnant Husband. And it was with, it was with trans men.
Oh.
Who have female parts still, but look like men.
Okay. Yeah.
And all due respect to the LGBTQ plus community, that was just a bit weird for me. But my show pick my show pick is a show that I've actually mentioned a few times on here. Queen Sugar. And I'm mentioning it again, one, because this last Tuesday's episode was really good. But why are you doing your face like that, Mike?
That's your drink? That's your show?
Yeah, Queen Sugar? Absolutely.
Yeah, my wife watched that joint.
You don't watch it with her?
Nah.
So you watch Ready to Love and Real Housewives of Atlanta, but you can't watch Queen Sugar?
They talking about love, man. Queen Sugar be on some other stuff, dog.
What Queen Sugar be on that you don't like?
It's not that I don't like. It's just it's not my thing.
It's not your cup of tea. Okay.
It's not my cup of tea at all.
Different strokes for different folks.
But if that's your cup of tea, you know, I know you've been down. No, you've been away from the area for a while. So, yeah.
Now, say what you was gonna say. You've been down in Atlanta for a while.
Yeah. Do you think, man? Do you think, man?
Nah, man. I watch all them type shows though. Queen Sugar.
Greenleaf.
Greenleaf. I watch Greenleaf. Well, you know, so, and you cut this out because I'm sure you watch Greenleaf too. As members of, I was about to say, as members of a mega church, and you know, I grew up in a church that grew into becoming a mega church, and is now called City of Praise Family Ministries. And then having left that church and then gone to First Baptist Church of Glendarden, I always wondered about like kind of the inner workings of the church. And it's like some of the stuff you used to see play out when I was, you know, at my church that I grew up in. But I needed to understand some of the behind the scenes stuff that happened, like in greater detail, because I didn't get that growing up in church.
Yeah, I've come to understand and know some of that behind the scenes stuff.
I'm sorry.
I wish I hadn't, but people are gonna be people.
Yeah.
So I mean, regardless of whatever institution you're in, you're gonna have people that fall short from whatever standard you hold them to.
Right.
So I mean, you just gotta kind of expect it, but you want to limit it too. You don't want people just wilding out.
Right.
Just doing whatever.
And you got to stop putting so much faith in, and this is specifically about this topic, more faith in people than you are in God. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Yep.
And I think that's
the
problem
big piece
with, that's the
they
problem
get people
with
caught up.
When people see some of these pastors and some of, you know, the stuff that goes on in these churches, they see that, oh man, like these people are supposed to be representations of God and they're doing this, that, and the third. And the reality is, you know, we shouldn't have expected, you know what I'm saying, that from them.
Yeah.
Or some level of perfection that we associate with God, that they are incapable of making mistakes or acting a certain way.
Yeah, because you'll disappoint yourself every time.
All right, Mike, we at the end of this one, man. Where can people find you?
They can't. I'm low key on social media, but okay. Mike_ABG, Mike Brown on Facebook. I'm on Twitter too, Mike_ABG.
Oh yeah, I gotta follow you
on Twitter.
Yeah, on Twitter.
I hardly ever.
You don't
tweet.
be on there. Oh, okay.
I almost never tweet. Yeah, I want my wife to run my social media, man, but she won't do it.
Why?
I don't know.
Don't get yourself in trouble. This is gonna be on YouTube in like maybe 4 days.
Nah, I'm gonna try to get her to do it, yo, because she definitely has a grasp on it, and I really don't.
You don't really
care to.
I honestly I don't either. You know what I'm saying? I have been horrible with running the Field to the Real podcast social media, and I'm trying to get better. For those of you who saw me tweet the other day about the Who's Really Right, I'm going to do the same thing when this episode comes out. You'll see it if you're on Twitter. People will retweet it. Thankfully, for those of you, we appreciate you retweeting it. But you can definitely reach out to us here at the Field to the Real podcast. Our email account is field2therealpodcast@gmail.com. Our socials, starting off with IG, is at field2therealpodcast. On Twitter is at field2therealp1. You can go to our Facebook page. That always alerts you guys when we come out with new content. And that's the Field to the Real podcast. No numbers in that. And go to our YouTube page. It's the Field to the Real podcast. Again, no numbers in that one. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that. Let us know how you like the podcast. And we truly appreciate you guys for listening. But this is the end of episode 136, and we out. Peace.
All right, my G.
Put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.